Pope John Paul said before he became Pope. He said the type of martyrdom that we have today is just as real as before, but it's done in such a way that people don't die. But the suffering can be just as real. People are ridiculed in the media, in their workplace. The Irish Martyrs are as relevant today as they ever were, but you have to have the eyes to see it.
That these people gave their lives for the faith, you know, and I think nowadays, particularly the young people, they don't seem to realise that the faith that was handed on to them was it cost a lot.
Matthew Lambert was a baker from Wexford who was arrested along with 5 sailors for helping priests escape to the continent. He was a simple man. And all he could say against his prosecutors were that he believed in what the Catholic Church taught, that he couldn't argue with them, and after 2 days of torture he and the 5 sailors were executed. None of them renounced their faith because they believed their faith was more important than life itself.
Margaret Ball was, she was a Catholic laywoman, and she had a son who was Lord Mayor of Dublin at the time, and she was very loyal to her faith, and she would give protection to priests. She tried to bring her son's conversion about by inviting him to dinner to see and to listen to priests, but he actually betrayed his mother and had her dragged through the streets of Dublin on a hurdle, and then she was incarcerated in Dublin Castle. She died there in dreadful conditions, and all the time she prayed. She never gave up her faith, and she was a great witness to her Catholic faith, and also she was a powerful protector of priests.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Whoever thought the sun would come crashing down? My life in flames, my tears concrete to pain me to the end. The darkest secrets to the bed. My book of life incomplete without you here. Alone I sit and reminisce. Sometimes I miss your touch, your kiss, your smile, and your laugh. You know I never cry, 'cause deep down inside, you know our love will never ever die. Everything's gonna be alright.
I remember about Oliver Plunkett that was one of our own who betrayed him. You know, and I think maybe a lot of people, even though they don't realise it doing it, they're betraying the faith.
He underwent a reform of the Irish Church that was on a par with St Patrick. must look at the life of the Irish Martyrs and of Oliver Plunkett and see how they gave their lives for Christ. And we must try to imitate as best we can each day. And in the words of Pope John Paul II, be converted daily.
Jesus is reminding us, that it is important that you ask to make that complete commitment of our lives to Him, and that it may involve martyrdom.
Today we give thanks in a special way for the campaign of prayer which began in 1997 for peace and reconciliation through the intercession of St Oliver. Minutes before his execution, he forgave all his accusers, judges and those who had given evidence against him.
Catholic martyrs, they die for love of their faith, they die for love of Christ. They never die with hate in their heart, and they always forgive those who persecute them. And this is so different from modern martyrs that might die for an ideology, because they die with a lot of hate against people.
In St London for about 6 months before he died. The conditions in the prison were terrible. It was cold, wet, damp and miserable.
No, he was hanged, drawn and quartered.
He was dragged through the streets of London on a hurdle where a great crowd had assembled at Tyburn.
Then they quartered him. They cut him down the middle, and then I think they cut him across there, and they took off his head anyway.
And then his body was then disemboweled.
There is the one that wipes away your tears. There must be a bitter breeze to make you stay so viciously. They say the greatest coward can hurt the most ferociously. I'll show you something good. Oh, I'll show you something good. If you open your heart, you can make a new start. When your crumbling world falls apart, miracle of love will take away your pain. When the miracle of love comes your way again, a miracle of love must take the miracle, will take away your pain. A miracle of love must take your way again.
We come together today to mourn the brutal murder 4 weeks ago of another Apostle student, Fr Ragheed Gannie, along with 3 companions in Mosul, Iraq, as they too returned from celebrating Mass.
Significant problems they had recently faced at that time, and he went on to speak about how the Eucharist sustained them. He said, "The terrorists might think they can kill our bodies or our spirit by frightening us, but on Sundays the churches are always full. They may try to take our life, but the Eucharist gives it back." It is among such difficulties that we understand the real value of Sunday, the day we meet the risen Christ. There are days when I feel frail and full of fear, but then, holding the Eucharist, I say, "Behold the Lamb of God, behold the one who takes away the sin of the world." I feel His strength in me. When I hold the host in my hands, it is really He who is holding me and holding all of us, challenging the terrorists and keeping us united in His boundless love.